Hello, YouTube. I figured I'd make this because I've been listening to more of these Mandela effect stories, and everybody still thinks that the Mandela effect is items changing. I thought that at first too. I've come to realize that it's not things that are changing. I've watched a number of earlier videos from a Mandela affected gentleman called Bluebeard 2011, and I've noticed that what he's saying is pretty much right on the money, or what he said. He's still out there, I think. I haven't watched his channel in a while, but I believe he's, if not 100% correct, then he's pretty far up there. I first found out about the Mandela effect in mid to late 2015. I'm not exactly sure. It was after I noticed something on my own. I ride, at the time I was riding a white adult tricycle. In between, when I'd have problems with the tricycle, I'd switch back to a bicycle, a mountain bike. And my route home every night was going east to west, almost straight line. And every night, the moon would be on the south side of the road when I'd look up in the sky and be able to see it, of course. I live in the northwest here, and the winters are pretty wet and rainy, but you do get the occasional clear couple of days. Excuse me. And I'd get to see the moon every so often. But in the summer, I think it was July of 2015, I was pedaling home and I looked up and noticed that the moon was on the north side of the street. And, excuse me, I have to reposition occasionally because, well, I just got home from work and just finished dinner myself. And it's about 20 after 3 in the morning. So, I'm not quite at my best. But I noticed the moon was on the north side of the street, and it freaked me the hell out. Excuse me. Sorry, I do Copenhagen. Have been for 40 years. And so I took out my cell phone at the time and I recorded it on the north side of the street. And then I tried talking to people about it because it should never have happened. For 9 years I'd pedaled that road every night and the moon was always on the south side of the street. And then the one night in July, it ends up being on the north side. That was a good 30 to 40 degree shift in its track. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? That should have been an extinction level event, according to what science says. That would have thrown our entire Earth out of whack. But nobody seemed to notice or care. And I tried telling people and showing them, and everybody looked at me like I was the one that was crazy. Because the moon was apparently supposed to do that. But I dropped it, and after a couple of weeks, and just went on. But I was keeping an eye out on anything strange, and then I started seeing Mandela effect videos, and I started posting comments on some of the channels about what I noticed, and other people had noticed it as well, but we didn't know why it was doing that. And sometime in, I think it was early 2018, I was watching Bluebeard 2011's channel. I'm watching some of his videos, and he had a video up. Somebody had recorded on their dash cam as they were driving down the road. I don't remember where. I don't know if he said where. 3 silver vehicles in front of the car with the dash cam disappeared as they were going down the highway. They just faded out and vanished. And then not long after that, a blue car come up past the driver and wrecked. I'm guessing he saw the 3 disappear, or he noticed the 3 disappear, and it scared the hell out of him. But I can't say for sure. That's my guess. And then a few months later, this is probably summer or fall of 2018, he put up a video showing that there were multiple versions of him, because the eye coloring was different for each version of him that he saw. He didn't see himself, but there was photographic proof that it was him, and the photos for himself had changed, and the eye color was different. So I went and I looked in the mirror because I wasn't quite sure, but I noticed that my eye color is different here. I was born and I grew up with steel gray eyes. And if you take a look at my eye color now, it's a much, or steel blue eyes. You'll notice it's a much darker blue than steel blue. If you don't know what steel blue is, it's a grayish blue, a light colored blue. And the eyes now are way darker than that. And your eye color does not change during your lifetime. If it does, there's something physically wrong with you. And then December of last year, 2018, it got real cold here. We usually end up with a couple of weeks in the winter where it gets pretty darn cold. And I'm a janitor, and a couple times a week I go outside to change the garbage bags outside. and throw the full bags in the dumpster out there. Well, the place I worked for 12 years had a pair of lights up high on the building that shone down on the parking lot where I was changing the bags out of the trash cans. And I noticed that it was pretty dark there, and I figured the lights had burned out. I didn't pay no attention because it was cold and I wanted to get back inside, so I just changed the bags and went back in. I talked to one of the supervisors and told her about it. And she told her husband. I came in during the day one time, not long after that, and he saw me inside and asked me to show him which lights I was talking about. So we went outside, and I looked up on the building, and there were no lights up there anymore. Apparently there had never been any lights up there because there wasn't even a spot in the fascia of the wall that had markings as to where the lights would have been. That's how I know that I shifted in December. At the same time, I acquired a new cat. He showed up at my door when it was that cold out, and he rarely leaves me alone. I think he knows something happened. I don't think he knows what it is, but I think he knows that I'm affected in the same way he is. There's a video that Bluebeard 2011 linked in one of his videos, and I suggested everybody who views this watch that video. I don't have the link numbers here, so I'm just going to tell you the title. It's a sci-fi short film. Then it's got the colons or quotation marks. This is Andromeda. And I believe that is probably pretty darn close to exactly what happened. It's about CERN screwing up. And you've got to remember that CERN came online in 2009. And the Mandela effect the term was coined in 2010. So I believe I first shifted in 2015 when I noticed the moon on the opposite side of the road. And then again last December when it got cold out. Because like I said, for 12 years that I've been working at that building, those lights were always up there. And I remember them during the day having the electric boom lifts that they have the bucket the guy stands in and he goes up in the lift. I remember them changing out those bulbs a few times over the years. So I know those lights were there because it was always brighter than it is now with those lights gone. But I figured I'd give you guys basically a heads up that the Mandela effect isn't things changing. It's us shifting from Earth to Earth. It's almost like the TV series Sliders, if you remember that. The only thing is it's not our whole bodies sliding from earth to earth. Apparently, it's our conscience sliding from earth to earth. Because our physical characteristics are changing as we go from one place to the next. Like I said, my eyes were always steel blue, and now they're not. And I didn't pay no attention to it until Bluebeard pointed it out on his video. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I did take a look when I saw the video about the dark rings around the cornea of the eyes, and I looked at that, but I didn't pay no attention to the color of the cornea. And then once he brought up the different colors of his eyes in different photographs, that's when I took a look at mine. So I know I'm shifting, and I don't know when the next shift will be or if there'll be a next shift. But I think every one of you should watch that video. It's only like 22.5 minutes long, and you can tell that the creator of the video is Mandela affected. It is a sci-fi short film, so it is exaggerated, but you can tell that the creator was Mandela affected. And I advise you to listen closely to the phone call at the end of the movie, especially the man's voice on the line, because I believe that's almost exactly what happened. I'm not positive. No one can be positive. But that is the best explanation I can come up with as to why all these changes have occurred. On my Earth, the Statue of Liberty was on Ellis Island. Always was. On this Earth, it's on Liberty Island. There was no Liberty Island on my Earth. There are so many changes that it's not funny. Most of the things are identical, but I know that I'm not the same Fred that used to live on this earth. And for those of you that think people around you have changed, it's not them that have changed. You've shifted to this earth. And you don't know how long you've got here. No one does. I actually wish I could go back to mine. Unfortunately, I don't think that'll ever be possible. And kind of makes me homesick at times, knowing that it's me that's moving from earth to earth. I wish I could change it, but I can't. I don't have the knowledge to be able to affect the reality of this situation. But I figured I'd give you people an update on what I truly believe is actually happening, and let you look around for yourself and see what you find. I wish you luck and love and happiness, and I will catch you later.